So, hi there, YouTube. My name's Nick, and I'm a sufferer of depersonalisation disorder. Just uploading my first video just for the hell of it. I saw a couple of videos online, and I thought it might be a good idea to try it out myself. And as you can probably tell, I'm quite bad in front of the camera. So, anyway, depersonalisation. My own experience with depersonalisation comes from a traumatic background. I've done quite a lot of reading on different dissociative disorders, and a lot of people say that they've got dissociation from marijuana use. And then there's this guy called Harris Harrington who does quite a lot of videos, and he was saying that even if you gained your dissociation from cannabis use, it's still somehow linked to the original trauma of your family and your childhood. And that's just something which I'd like to explore a bit, because I saw quite a lot of videos about people who have overcome depersonalisation and have come out the other side of it, and they said things become a lot more crisp around them, and they begin to kind of experience the world in a more real way. Because of course that's one of the main things with dissociation, is just a complete lack of any reality around you, or you feel like you're going through a dream, or everyone around you's actors and they're not really real people, and they're just kind of going on some sort of script. Something personal for me is that when I'm in a social gathering, when people are around me, I can pick up what they're saying, and I know what they're saying, but it doesn't quite feel like it's coming from them. It feels as if it's just playing in my mind, just in some sort of distant part. So whenever I talk to someone, it's as if I'm not really talking to that person. It's as if there's this big old conversation going on in my mind, and I can hear all these voices from other people, but I know it comes from them, but it just doesn't quite configure, because you're kind of detached from your reality, basically. So I found that quite interesting, seeing all the different symptoms which a lot of people have put forward. That being probably one of my main ones, the audio visual distortions that you get. So the audio being when you're talking to someone, as I said, you kind of pick up what they're saying, but you don't really understand that it comes from them, and you're not really talking to them. You're kind of feeling a bit like a robot. Like you're like, right now I feel like I'm not really talking. It feels like I'm just kind of going through the motions and saying crap, which doesn't really make any sense anyway. But kind of going into my depersonalisation, I've had depersonalisation disorder since I was 7 years old now. I'm 21 years old now. My dad had a car accident when I was 6 years old, which led to his hospitalisation, and as far as I've been told, that has then led to the depersonalisation and in essence going into a fantasy world. I'm not sure how many of you guys will have had the same experience of going into a fantasy, feeling like you're detached. I mean, there's like the feeling of detachment from reality, and then there's these kind of ruminating fantasy thoughts that go along with it. It doesn't. I can't even make sense of it myself, let alone make sense of it to other people. But for me, it's as if my brain is trying to gauge what's going on around me, and it has all these kind of silly thoughts of. So for example, I'm waiting for a friend at the moment, and I'll imagine her driving here, and I'll assume that that's the reality of around me, is that she is now driving here. Even though it's a true statement, even though I know that she is driving, it's as if my thought becomes reality. Her driving becomes my reality, and that becomes the ruminating thought. So I'll stare off into the distance and look for the car that's coming down the road, and I'll automatically start. But then again, some people say like, oh, but those thoughts aren't that weird and all this kind of stuff. but for me it feels very, very bizarre. It doesn't feel like it's a real thought. It doesn't feel like you're connected in any way. So if you guys have any kind of comments, or if you feel you have the same symptoms or anything, like, please comment. That would be amazing. This is my first video, of course, so I'm rubbish at YouTube, and yeah, any feedback would be great. And it's kind of, it would be relieving to contact someone who also has depersonalization, because at the moment I've never met someone who actually has dissociation disorder. Sorry. I've never talked to someone online who has depersonalization either. And I know that there's people out there that do suffer from depersonalization just like me. And I'd love to get in touch with some people to just talk about it a bit more and kind of explore what that's all about, basically. Anyway, cheers. Bye.